right, guys, welcome to another episode. This is gonna be episode 8. It's gonna be a good one. Just real quick, want to shout out Dizana Sports again, makers of the Grind Air gloves, the SF joggers. We're actually gonna be having some overshot merch coming out, some joggers, some for the factory team. Those are exclusive, but also ones that you can get as a fan of the show. And we're also working on maybe like an overshot Army jersey and stuff like that. So definitely look out for that. If you're interested, definitely DM us. Maybe we'll give you a little sneak peek. And definitely use code Overshot, for 10% off. But we'll just jump into it with our guest, Chris from B.A.M.F, a team out of Maryland, a team that's been playing my league this season, the TSXL. First things first, Chris, thanks for coming on. And how did you get involved in the sport?
Can you hear me better now? I see that you was cutting in and out.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
About now. Am I all good?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you, brother.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yep. What was the question again?
How'd you get started in your sport? Like in the sport, how did you find paintball?
There is actually a local field close to me. I actually live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So there's a local field like about 20, 30 minutes from me. We actually started. It was a bunch of us guys from work sat there and just came an idea, and it was originally supposed to be like 25 of us, and only like 8 people showed. So I had to sit there and come out of pocket for like a couple extra people. That way we didn't lose our spot, deposit, and everything.
Yeah.
So we go out, we go play. We just played some rec ball and stuff, and that's how pretty much how it is, man. Like I started there. First thing was I played in the woods. I played in the woods, huge woods, and it was like 5 against 6. There was only like 11 people there. So, as soon as the game started, I am running like full speed, like halfway to the field, and like all 5 people are shooting at me, and I'm behind the tree, and I'm scared. And I ain't gonna lie, man. When I first started playing, man, I didn't anticipate the pain or anything at all. And everyone's sitting there like, oh, it's not that bad, and everyone's shooting at me, and I'm looking at the ref, and I'm like, ref, you just call me out, man. Like, just call me out, bro. I don't want to get hit. Just call me out. Like I'm sitting here, I'm being the biggest female on the field, and the ref is like, I'm not calling you out, man. You're not hit. And I was like, listen, just call me out. I just want to get out, bro. He was like, no. He was like, you're staying in, and you just got to shoot back, man. It's either you or them, and you got to see how it's going to work out. So you just got to start shooting back, and you got to tell your teammates behind you because you're way up here. And from there, when I got hit, I was like, that's all it was. Like, that's what I feel. So I was with it. I was fine. It was all good, and I went forward with it. It was, and that was the day that I fell in love with the sport, man. From there, I was going out every weekend, playing a bunch of rec ball. I played rec ball for about 4 or 5 years.
So you played rec ball for a long time.
Yeah, and actually last year was my first year getting into air ball and tournament ball and stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So, did you play scenarios too during this rec ball phase, or?
Not really. It was much more of the walk-ons I did. I really didn't get to do any of the scenarios. As much as I wanted to go to Ion, I never got the chance to go up there. So that's definitely on my bucket list. But as I got more and more into the speedball, with the help of a couple of my teammates, Robbie and Brandon, they call him Boo. They got us in. We started off at they brought me down to PAP, and I had tried out for originally I had tried out the year before, earlier in July for Rebel 5 when they were at PAP last year, and I didn't make it. They told me to come to open tryout, so I decided at that time I decided to start hitting the rec ball field and try to get some snap shooting done and working on my left hand because I had absolutely no left hand and everything else, and they say in the sport of paintball, you got to be ambidextrous. So I'm trying to be that kind of player once I get to that kind of level. So I was working very hard from July all the way to October. I ended up trying out for a team called the Other Guys for a period of time, and then I decided to leave there. Break ties, very cool with the people, very respectful with everyone. cut ties with them, and I had joined BAMF. Mama B.A.M.F. She gives me a home, man. That's what it is. She's a very respectful lady. Her and Ron and Max, the owners of the team. I mean, they welcome me with open arms, man. And they were, for a period of time she was scouting me, and she said maybe you should come. And I have stepped, and she was like, listen, you either got to do the full step or you ain't gonna step at all. So
Right.
I
Laying
took the
down
full
that
step,
hammer.
man. Yeah, man. She put it down, and she's like, listen, you either coming in or you're not. So you got to do what you got to do. So I thought about it really hard and everything. Before I saw my first tournament, I played the EPL in April of 2019 last year, and I think from the time from there, it was just an amazing time, and I started to see like all the teams and all these different people coming from all these different states, all these different like places and counties and all kinds of fields, and it was wonderful, man. It was wonderful. I got to meet new people along the way, and everything else, man. I mean, and the thing about Mama B.A.M.F., man, is that like she calls us her kids because I mean she has one kid, but like she's in charge of like almost 30 players, and
Right.
she runs that organization amazing, absolutely amazing. We run 3 lines. I'm one of the lines that play Xball, so which I'm glad about. I'm happy, and the whole 9 yards, man. Mama B.A.M.F., she does an amazing job. I mean, we point her to like certain things, certain sponsors, see if she can get us on and everything else. And she bites for it, man. She works hard, and
Definitely.
she's a nurse as well. So her being a nurse and also doing this paintball stuff is amazing. So I definitely give her a
Yeah.
lot of pleas. I thank her a lot. Everything, seriously, I really do. So, but yeah, that's how everything all worked out.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, especially, she's the one that hit me up about the league, kind of from afar and things like that. I can kind of see, you can kind of tell like the way that people work, how they respond to things, how they handle things, how they do things. And like you said, you got an army of, 30 plus people, 30 plus dudes I mean, it's hard to wrangle 5 dudes together, let alone 30 dudes. You know what I mean?
Right. And I agree. I mean, I like God bless her soul, man. Like God bless her soul. Like a lot of people is like, hey, like why, like, have you ever thought about doing your own team? And I was like, listen, man, I just want to be a player, man. I rather like she runs the organization amazing, like very well. You know what I mean? For them starting, I think they started back in 2015, and they originally was called Habu, I believe, and it was just Max and Ron, and they were going out to play rec ball, and then they went over to Wanna Play. That was close to them. That was local field to them, and then they go from there and they started recruiting, and then they go down to they go to PAP, they go to Paintball Adventure Park, and they recruit a couple players from there, and they PAP was their home field for a good amount of time, and then right now we're down at NR Paintball, with John down there, amazing facility, very
location.
respectful, very respectful guy. Takes care of his players, takes care of the teams that come out down there. The field is very well maintained. I mean, and the competition's there, and everywhere else. It's the same thing as you go to a different field. There was a period of time I had wrote Pat Kraft on Instagram, and he was like, "Listen, man, the only way you really got to eliminate yourself, if you're starting to see that there's no competition and you don't see like yourself getting better, you got to eliminate yourself and go to a different field where you can actually look for that competition that's actually there for you." And I have to give it to him. That's an amazing advice personally, as a guy who's 27 years old, that's trying to sit there and really push up the ranks and trying to get up there. But hey, man, I mean, I take it, day by day, week by week, every Sunday, and whatever's in front of us, we ain't going down without a fight. That's the only thing, man. Like, people, we might get 4-0 or whatever, but we ain't definitely gonna get 4-0 and then have 20 bodies each time. You have 5. 5. They clear us 5, and they still have the 5 there. So it ain't really gonna work like that. We definitely want to take a body with us.
For sure.
We have I believe last year during NXL Philly, we have a coach. His name's Thomas Payne. He was a starter, I believe, and a founder of DC Justice. He started DC Justice for a period of time. That was around, and he disbanded and everything else. I don't know what else happened with that, but with Thomas, you know, he's an amazing guy. He's our coach now. He helps us out. The experience that he has, that he brings along, the stuff that he can teach us players and everything. I can't be more thankful for that as well. And the thing was, Minnie went out. Mama B.A.M.F went out and did her job. She's like, hey, you know, I'm interested. Come out and come. Can you help a couple of my players to come do a couple things, you know? And
Right.
and I'm grateful for it, man. You know, Thomas, he was up at semi-pro. He played for the Nasty semi-pro, as far as I believe,
Hmm.
and everything else, man. Like it's just very good vibes around everywhere else, anywhere I go. At least that's what I tried to bring. So
Always got to bring the good vibes, man. Negative
yeah,
vibes
man.
doesn't help anyone.
Absolutely,
What's about?
absolutely.
So with that being said, is because I know and I kind of felt like watching you guys from event 1 to event 2, you know, I'll be as someone that's checking the rosters and looking everything in and knows who's checks in and everything like that.
Right.
So I know Thomas played the last one, and I could feel that the team was working a lot better together. Now, do you
Agreed.
credit to that? I mean, probably one, you guys have been working harder because I felt like you played a lot better, but also him being on the field, I think kind of maybe he's the like the glue to keep you guys together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Thomas, man. I mean, when the layout was released, man, it was like nonstop. Like we came an extra hour to practice. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To drill and constantly drill. And the thing with Thomas was, man, is like, you know, with me, like seeing all these different teams and everything else, points doesn't matter at the end of the day, man. You know, you can run points all day and try to get over the field, and you won't get better that way. And the thing that uplifted from me playing event 1 from event 2 is that the drills. You know, it's the drills that he did, man. I mean, that he taught me, and I took those drills into game situations and event situations, and what can I do to be a better player, and you know, and asking the questions and see what can happen, and you know, I uplifted, man. It was amazing. I mean, Thomas, we kept running the drills until he was satisfied. And the thing with Thomas is that like he's a very hard coach, man, and he did play. Um, Obviously, halfway through the bomb squad, you know, match, I ended up getting hurt and rolling my ankle pretty bad. But you know, with Thomas, you know, Thomas, he's a guy he loves the game, man, and like anyone else, man. But this guy has such passionate, and you know, you do something wrong, listen, he tells you to take a lap. You know, you don't take a
Hmm.
lap, that's fine, that's on you. That's what he's telling you to take it. But it's at the end of the day, it's self discipline. You know what I mean? If he tells you to take a lap, I think you
Right.
should listen to the coach, because if you ain't listening to the coach, that means you ain't doing something right, man. You know, you should
Right.
do something for
Exactly.
yourself. And he's coming out on his own time, you know, on a
Hmm.
Sunday, and he's coming out to help and everything else. Like I definitely appreciate that, man. Like a guy who has that kind of experience and that played a little bit, and honest, and more importantly, like I was gladly honored to play with him as well, because you know, I chat with him here and there and all that kind of stuff, and very good guy, down to earth, very respectful. And the only thing that he wants is medals, man. That's what everybody wants. But
For
he's
sure.
gonna keep grinding us until we get it right. Um, and I was happy about it, and I was glad. I think I wasn't the only one. I know a couple of my teammates were as well. But I mean, I'm glad that a lot of that he's actually out here and he's making us work, and it's just nonstop work, man. Like nonstop work. He's coming in early on Sundays, coming and staying late on Sundays, and you know, the majority of us work Saturdays, so you know, when we come Sundays, we have to put the work in. And, you know, from a lot of us, we're driving, you know, an hour and a half, you know, 2 hours, you know, for me, it's like a 3 hour round trip. You know,
Yeah.
I'm coming out to sit there and make that kind of commitment. And for him to make that kind of commitment when he's coming down and he's coaching us, you know, and then he only really wants to play when he really has to, but he doesn't really want to.
Right.
That's ultimate goal. So,
So, like, what kind of drills were you guys doing in preparation for the second event?
So we were doing strictly was laning. Coming
Hmm.
in the second event was laning. Also, we noticed that the Tim Montressor layout was a heavy that the middle was able to lock down anywhere around the field, without
Yeah.
a doubt. So he was teaching us also to shoot the middle, the guy that's in the middle, shoot him in and then move. You know, because
Hmm.
the more you advance, the more he was able to, you know, you guys, at least you would expect as a trade, you know, and that's all. You know, we want that middle guy out, and
Right.
if you know that middle was definitely a threat, especially when you were sitting there waiting on one side. I mean, you know, all day throughout the event, man. I mean, I've seen people come. There was nobody getting past Snake 3 throughout that whole event. At least
Yeah.
when I was sitting there watching, it was a very tough time. So you know, laning, putting, you know, it was just strictly laning, putting people in and go, and definitely it's mainly checking off. You know, you want to check off the middle, because if you don't check off the bunker where you expect to move, you know, that guy's waiting on you, man. You just move. And that was my mistake from event 1. I mean, I was just running in blind and expecting to get to my bunker safe, and I didn't feel the pod pack hit. You know, next thing you know, hey, player, come out. What are you talking about? You got a pod pack hit. Oh man, so that was something that we all worked on. You know, we sat there and we check off the middle before we advance. Check off your bunkers before you move. So that was our main thing. And that was what a lot of us utilized. You know, and I was regardless, we didn't make it out of prelims, but I was still happy that the fact that we progressed from event 1 to event 2. So that was my main thing, and we played better and we're gelling together as a team, and I'm really happy about that as well.
Yeah, no, and you guys had to take care of the center like that. It's like good that you guys practiced that, because that was the dominant thing on that layout was the center.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. I mean, you know, a lot of the moves I really didn't expect to make. You know, I sit there and I get out, and it was like you was running gunning to the tall wedge. I was like, all right, look, I asked coach. Coach said, you make it, it's there. If you don't do it again. All right, cool. Yes, coach, I got you, man. So
yeah,
whatever the coach says goes.
Man. Yeah, definitely.
No, I saw you make a crazy move. Sorry, but he went to the D corner, went around the D corner, and went straight up to that wedge. And I was like, "What a fucking crazy move, dude!
Yeah.
Holy shit!"
Yeah, a lot of people make mistake, man. I did gain some weight from last year to this year, and I'm still working on slimming it down. But my speed didn't stop me, man. My speed doesn't stop me. So I'm just going to try to see if I can continue to keep that.
Yeah, man, you got to continue to work at it. A thing that I really like, I see like Brandon Unger now and other people like that are starting to utilize it as an agility ladder, like those little rope ladders you see.
Yeah,
just lay it on the ground, dude. It's so good for footwork, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I played high school football and everything else, and that was one of my favorite drills besides the Oklahoma drill. We got the hit. But if it wasn't the agility ladder, man, it started to get a little boring to me.
Yeah, and it's so good for paintball, because having, like I said, having that footwork and running and not tripping over your feet is super important. You got to make sure you move crisp.
Definitely.
So with that being said, I mean, I kind of got here. I mean, have you seen your bracket yet for this weekend?
I did.
So let's talk through it, man. Let's talk through it. I mean, first up, I see here, Brave. You know, Brave is, I believe they're the second. So it's Leverage, and then it's like Brave, High Rollers, and Tempo all in like second for the season standings. So, and Brave won the first event. They got knocked out by High Rollers, in a close match, last event. So, I mean, what's your opinions on Brave? What's your opinions on that match going in?
Brave, I got to give him respect. New Year Brave, I have to give him the biggest respect. I personally didn't get to play them. I seen them play at World Cup. My hat comes off for them, man. I mean, the way that they drop bodies, you know, when I was guesting for newbies, was unreal, absolutely unreal. I mean, it was all on point. I mean, we didn't really get to scout that much over at the couple of other events. But I mean, hey, like I said, with B.A.M.F, man, it's we scout and we try to give everything we can, and that's with everyone. Right. So we gonna see what we can give to Brave. Brave give it to us, they give it to us. But at the end of the day, once the match is over, we clap hands. You know, it's just the amount of sportsmanship that we can show. With Brave, they're a solid team. I mean, very solid.
Won the first event.
Yeah, even though I should be scouting them more, that's personally on me. I got to tip my hat off to them. So let's see how the very first match goes against Brave. I hope that I feel like a lot of the teams we can really that are playing this. Besides, I know Leverage is. We played them. I mean, I didn't get to play the first match, and the way they were looking was solid. I mean, I'm sitting there looking, and then the thing about me, man, like I from time to time, once a week, I check APPA. You know what I mean? I'm like, and I'm looking. I'm like, this guy's D5. Yeah, right. I like, all right, we definitely, you know. But then
Mhm.
you see their game, and it's like, dang, like, yo, I just got
Yeah.
smacked by this dude. Yo, respect to you, bro. I guess, man. So
I mean, do you want to say any certain names? I mean, I listen, dude, because before I became a league promoter, I was always that guy. I was always like, dude, if we went to Long Live on a Sunday practice, you pointed somebody out, I could probably tell you how many points they had to, 2 or 3. You know what I mean? So
right. Hey, let me try to see if I can pull up APPA up right now and see what happens. So
Yeah, and this is gonna come out the Thursday before the event, so feel free to bring all the smoke, man.
yeah, absolutely, man. I'm trying to bring everything I can, man, and that's not only with me. That's with the help of my teammates. It's paintball is a team sport, and I always trust the people behind me, and I want the people in front of me to trust me while I'm behind them. And you know what? It's just a wonderful thing to sit there and actually play like that. For some reason, like when I was a young kid, I boxed for a little bit, and to me, like I'm a big person that I like to beat myself up over something that's like a mistake that I could have fixed. And
Yeah, you're
sometimes like
really
I
hard
might
on
need,
yourself.
yeah. So like sometimes I want to be able to sit there and be like, yeah, maybe I should have like, keep digging at it and keep digging at it. And next thing you know, they're like, yo, listen, stop getting into yourself and get out of it. And just keep rolling and keep doing your thing, man. And just clear your mind and do it all again.
Hmm.
You know, um, I mean, there's no name specifically here. I really didn't really get to see much of them. Really, the only person that I've seen for some reason a lot is Clayton Rains.
Hmm. Yeah.
I've been seeing his jersey. I see he's a solid player. So my hat tips off to him as well. Is it Nick Etry?
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Taps. My hat tips off to him as well. I mean, they do a lot of good communication, man, and that's something that I can respect out of New York Brave. So see what I can bring towards that match to see if I can give the smoke or not. I mean, regardless of what it is, regardless if I smack somebody or somebody smacks me, at the end of the day, you just walk up to them, slap me in hand, hey, good hit. Hopefully, I get your next point. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. People have a real like negative stigma on like are losing or like getting shot in the face, but it's all like what you take from that opportunity. If you go back to the pit and learn nothing from that situation, well then yeah, then it was wasteful and it was stupid. But if you get smacked in the face and you're like, oh, I learned something about this layout or this angle or this shot, well then it wasn't wasteful. You
Right,
learned
right.
something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and everyone runs. That's how it is. You run the same plays until they stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brave. I think. I think they can adjust really quick to certain plays when it really comes to it. But to see what I can give them. And bring what I could. That's all I can. That's all I can say towards Brave.
No, I agree. I think they're a solid team. I don't know like a super lot about them to speak on it, but for the first event, I did some filming for the D4, so I like got to watch like a lot of the points, and I
Right.
was quite impressed with the way they were playing and the way they were handling their
Yeah.
games.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Waldo, who's
So
who they have
next
next? I don't
up,
really know their. Oh yeah, go.
I got the schedule, dude. I got the
I was gonna
bracket.
say I
I don't
don't
got the
have it.
exact schedule in front of me, but you know, off the top of my head, you know what I mean. I pretty much could have did it, but they also have RL Tempo, which has always been in the mix. They got second to first event. They got fifth. I had to go to like the fifth tiebreaker to knock them out of the top 4. So RL Tempo, Ernest, and he got different guys each time, but like, and same thing you were kind of saying, Chris. Like you look at or APPA, you're like, oh, they shouldn't. There's like no rank, some rank, but then you play them, and honestly, dude, they've been doing pretty well this season. And I know they're locked and loaded, and they've been practicing. I've seen them at Long Live. So, what's your feelings on RL Tempo, Chris?
Um, RL Tempo for as strong as I believe, I don't want to say that any of them did. This is just from my instincts. I believe that one of them had took the Russian Legion clinic, and
A lot of them did. That's why it's RL. That's Russian Legion
yeah,
Tempo.
I
That's for all
guarantee
the
say
kids that were at that
that's
clinic.
yeah. So they learned a lot. They learned a lot, and the fundamentals is all there, and that's all that they're usually doing. And from what I observed from them, and you know I think they're a very good, respectful set of guys. Very good, very good people. Um, I honestly think that we can give it to them. But we just got to see how it all works out. I mean, that's just my thing. A lot of people from our line, well, a handful of us, we got it locked. We're athletic. I want to say all of us. We definitely have it down. Our gun skills are getting a lot better. We're learning not to gun battle, and all that kind of stuff. So with RL Tempo, I mean, um, they're they're just fundamental players, and that's all they're bringing to the table. That's just personally from what I'm seeing. And ain't nothing wrong with that. If they win the point, they win the point.
Right.
So that's just all full respect to them. So I'm looking forward to see if what we can bring towards them as well. With RL Tempo, I think we could possibly give it to them. But let's just see how it all works out on Sunday. You sit there, we can, sometimes we might bring it, sometimes we might not. So let's just see how it all works out.
I didn't make it to event 2, so I don't know how they did in that one. But I know in event 1, their lanes off the break were fucking mint.
Yeah, it was money. It was money. It was there. So I definitely, event 1 they did really well. So I definitely gotta give it to them.
All right. And then the last team, a team you guys have played before, and I think you guys, I think it was like your first match at TSXL. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Was New York Fearful, and I think you played them to a tie. So they're coming out of, they played D5 last year. This is their first jump to Xball. Little bit of a rough time, but I know you can see it in them. You can see they're working. They got some young kids. It's a family team. They've added a couple more experienced people. So, rounding out your bracket, New York Fearful.
Fearful, man. Fearful. And let me tell you what, the first time I ran into Fearful, I ran into them when it was the BPL, the Baltimore Paintball League down there at Pat last year.
Yeah.
And the comparison from last year to this year is tremendous. I mean, tremendous. They bring it, and they fight. They definitely fight. Young guys, you know, uh, Ricky, with Ricky and Jimmy, and his two kids, Gabby and Emmanuel. Emmanuel, man, I mean, the kid has
moves.
yes, I mean that kid's upcoming. Gabby off the break, she's sitting there making very good moves. I mean, she's her lane's down. Once it's there, they communicate, and I feel is that they play more of that of the pocket paintball, and that's what I observe from them. They sit, they hold their lanes, they drop a body, they move. They sit and hold a lane, they drop a body, and they move. And I feel that's what I grasp from them. But I definitely got New York Fearful, man. They're working hard, and they constantly do, man. And that's something that I definitely got to give it to them. A lot of young kids. They're all upcoming. They're grinding. I mean, I sit there from time to time, just scroll through the IG stories and
the
I
IG, dude.
Yeah, I just scroll through the IG stories, and next thing you know, somebody, one of the guys from Fearful are up at High Velocity Paintball, man. They're grinding, Saturday, Sunday, and I can't blame them for it. Young kids, they're grinding. They definitely want to make it up the ranks. So I give them all full respect to them.
And I saw they went to the BKI summer camp also. So I'm sure, that'll definitely help out. I know the two kids went, you know what I mean? I saw them taking pictures and selfies and whatnot, but you can't be at 5 days of summer camp with, 6, 7 pros and not digest something, even just standing next to them.
Look, I'm a 27-year-old, and I digest something from a semi-pro player who was someone who had practice, and that gives us amazing drills and stuff. So they have to get something, and and they work. I mean, they definitely work. And that's something that's amazing for them, and that's what the sport mainly is all about. Once you start working, that's how it all turns out. And what the work that you put in is what the outcome you receive, and it's definitely going on their end. Fearful is they're working, and they got a lot better compared to last year. I mean, a lot better.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely give the respect to them. With Fearful, I I expect I expect a fight out of them, honestly. Because I know they ain't going down easy.
It's that Long Island fight, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a Long Island. I can't say. You know what I mean? Listen, dude. But I love that there's a Long Island team in the league. You know what I mean? I like
Right.
that there's a Maryland team. I like that there's a New Jersey team. I like that there's a what? You know what I mean? South Jersey, whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
when I was doing this, I was like, we're talking to Jimmy or whatever, and I'm like, yo, I liked because I used to play with my brother. He plays with his brother. The family dynamic, that's cool. My dad played once, cheated me, shot me point blank. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like he was like, all right, like we're upstate, and he was like by my grandma's cabin. He's like, all right, we're not allowed to shoot by the house. I turn around the corner of my grandma's house, and he's right there. Like just starts trying to light me up, and I'm like rolling on the ground. But it was like, dude, it was like a Titman 98. He had the safety on or whatever, and I'm like, he's like, bang, bang. He's like, why doesn't this work? I'm like, safety, dude, safety. But
Yeah. Right.
you know what I mean? I love seeing those kids ball out, dude. That's all I can say on that
man.
one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but like as we're telling dad stories.
So I mean, any other big plans? Any other events besides the TSXL?
We play. We were also playing the NRPL. Down there at NR, obviously.
Oh, right.
Down at our home
Yeah.
field. So, but that's what we mainly do. Before all this COVID crap happened and all this kind of stuff, we was always big on definitely NXLs, man. I mean, we definitely want to get back out there. NXL, my first NXL was NXL Philly last year. I had an amazing time, with B.A.M.F, amazing people. Met a lot of people. I mean, it was enjoyable, you know what I mean? And, got to see all the teams and center, and me actually witnessing that and experiencing it is awesome, and the people around here, like where I live, I sit there and they're like, oh, well, what do you do as your hobby? And I'm like, well, I play tournament paintball on my weekends and my days off and stuff. And they're like, what? They're like, tournament paintball? Like what is that? And I was like, here, I'll show you a couple videos and see what it is. And it was like, yo, that's dope. Like, you do that? And I was like, yeah. And when they noticed, when I went to work the one day, and I had that I hit on my neck, man. It was like scabbed and everything. Yeah.
Nice little hickey.
Yeah. Yeah, I get home, my lady's saying, yeah, someone was sucking on your neck too hard. I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're like, yo, where'd you get that from? And I was like, it's playing paintball, man. It's just something that's enjoyable. He's like, doesn't that hurt? I was like, not really. Like, it's everyone sit here and they get tattoos. They get tattoos done. They get piercings. It's very similar to that, and it's that's all what it is. Just come out. All I tell you just got to come out and play and see what you can see for yourself. And honestly, it doesn't hurt.
When it's happening, you don't even feel it. Your adrenaline is pumping. Like normally, I don't feel it the next day until I'm like poking around. I'm like, ow, ooh,
yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot on.
Yeah, I do that.
On the side. Ooh.
Yeah. The ones that are definitely painful is when you usually feel them instantly. Is the ones on the ribs, man. But besides that, ain't no issues at all.
Right. The one I think the one worse is like when it's right here in the meaty part of the arm. Oof.
Yeah, I had that as well. I think I still have the scab there. And it was like 2 years ago. So the bruise is still there. I'm like, dang, this thing ain't never going away. So
yeah, man, I've had a couple of those. So if they do World Cup this year, is the World Cup something you guys would be interested in?
It's a must. At least I'm going, but it's a must, man. I mean, I would love for our line to go out there and see how we do. We play D3 5-man, but if we ever get into Xball and we do Xball down there at Cup, I'm definitely all for it, man. Cup is it's an amazing place, man. Like when I went to Cup last year, it was an amazing experience. I mean, that was my second time ever being to Florida, and the fact that I was able to go to a place and enjoy my time with the beautiful weather and play the sport that I love, man, it was amazing. I mean, there ain't nothing else more to it. I hope that we can able to make it. If Cup happens, I really hope it does happen.
Yeah.
I hope Tom Cole comes with a suggestion or something sometime soon. And everything else.
Plan.
Yeah, because some people need to take off work and make some sort of plan to get down there, man.
Make some arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah. And depending on how this whole thing's, it could be serious arrangements. Like, again, I think I said this on the last podcast or the podcast before this, that like they're saying the ICPL is going to happen, the International Classic Paintball League. That's what me and like my boys play.
Right.
But Chicago is a quarantine state if you're moving, so we would have to quarantine coming home if we were to take a plane, and it's like that's just a whole other like logistic that we're trying to figure out.
Right. Yeah, I think there's I think I know a couple people like over here like if you leave and like which I don't know why, but like people are like lying like yeah, we haven't been to this state, and they posted pictures on the Facebook and everything, and they get caught, and then they get released because they're afraid that they're going to give it to the other employees. Just quarantine yourself, just be safe, and that's all it is, man. And I don't blame other people to be doing it for that far, but I mean, whatever it is, to sit there and take care of each other. I mean, that's the main thing you guys want to do. So
yeah, right. We got to take care of each other in this whole situation.
Agreed.
Now, Chris, have you kind of alluding to what Travis was saying? Have you ever been interested in playing the mechanical events, or you're strictly an airball guy? I know you said you played rec ball for 4 years, so you can't be that bad in the woods. You know what I mean? Gotta have some type of skills.
Right. You know what? I would have minded to try it. Give it a shot. I was originally supposed to go to ICC before the man, the legend, passed and everything else with all this COVID going on. So rest in peace to my trusser. I was supposed to play ICC with a bunch of the guys from B.A.M.F and everything. But let's just see. I mean, let's see what's in the future. I don't mind playing. Honestly, if it's anything to do with paintball, man, just sign me up and I'm out there, man. I'm with it.
Right.
It's the same as us, man, dude. Mechanical, airball, we're in it, dude.
Scenario doesn't matter.
Right.
We'll play it. Just want to shoot people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, listen, this is the only thing that you can absolutely like sit there and you get to shoot somebody legally. It's not illegally. You get to legally shoot somebody for fun and not go to prison. Come on, it's like where else can you do that?
Such a rush too, man.
Yeah, yes, it's an amazing time too. And you make new friends along the way for shooting somebody. For shooting somebody. What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Do nothing.
Right.
I met this guy through paintball. I had a memory. I think it was like from 5 years ago. I think it was the first time. I don't know. It may have been the first time we met. It was in the back of the old Cousins when it was not at the golf course or whatever. I got a tack vest on and a T-shirt, no arm pads. And me and you are running somewhere. I think I had
dweeb, dude. Nerd. You're lucky I found you. You're lucky I found you. And I was like, get rid of that tactical vest, get elbow pads and knee pads. I was like, get rid of everything dye, because you had everything dye and I couldn't stand it. Yeah, the dam with the box rotor, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, dude, this dude was hardcore. I mean, can't say, there's pictures floating back the day. I had the vest, I had a stock with the A5, with the back, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah,
I was doing
all that time.
The radio.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same thing with me, man. You would sit there and be like, oh, you're a speedball player now, I guess. I sat there. I had the vest. I had the pods across my chest. I had the remote line that came from the back to my tip. Yeah, I know exactly what y'all talking about. Yeah, I played that. Yeah, I had that. And then I started to see these guys with these speedball markers. I'm like, man, so how much you spend on that? And like, can I try it out? And they was like, yeah, here, try it. And I was like, yeah, I gotta get me one of these. So I sat there, man. I'm looking through websites and I'm like, so I end up asking, my teammate Robbie, like, so like, is there like a discount code, like some sort of like cheaper thing? And he was like, listen, when it comes to paintball, bro, you get your money's worth. That's all it is, man.
Right.
So you definitely have to spend the money to get what you want. And I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like scrolling through and I'm like, that's a nice gun, but damn. This is at the time when I was just getting started into it. I'm like, damn, $600? Let me see.
What was the first gun you spent like real bread on?
So right now, I have a Plain Clip CS2.
Okay.
It's laser engrave. It has the Maui laser engrave on it. That I ain't going back to no other gun besides the CS2, man. I mean, I do want to try. I mean, the thing with me, I'm a easily distracted guy, so I can't shoot an LV for crap. You give me an LV, I'm gonna say I'd rather shoot an Ether or something like that over this, because I can't. I get distracted very easy. So, my very first gun that I had was an invert mini that I actually bought from Robbie. the teammate, and then I ended up selling it, and I had an Axe 2.0. End up getting an Axe 2.0, end up selling that. And I actually also had what is the Vulcan Protons, them little things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had one of them for a period of time. Got rid of both of them. Bought me an Ether 2, all that kind of stuff. The Ether 2 was a workhorse, man. I mean, it was a workhorse. I definitely abused that gun. Rebuilt it and everything, cleaned it up, sold it off again. Ended up getting a GO35. Fell in love with that, and then when Playing Clips came out with the 170Rs, man, it was like, yo, it's a must. Like, I gotta try it. So I got the 170R for a period of time, used it for a little bit, got rid of that.
That's what I shoot a mechanical. I shoot the
man,
mechanical one.
I shot the mechanical M170R, man, and it's amazing. It's a very smooth mechanical. I'm surprised in how well it shoots. So
Dude, it shoots so good.
Yes, I agree.
That's all you need, man. If you're not playing a tournament, dude, that's all you need. You don't need nothing. That's what I tell dudes. I'm like, you don't need nothing else. You know what I mean? When we play rec ball and I see dudes with electric guns dunking on kids, I'm like, dude, you don't even.
Yeah, that's not even needed for it, man.
Trash.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, bro. Like, if anything, put on like 5.5 or at least play like 8.5 or something like that. You ain't got to ramp. The kids that people are doing that to the kids and everything. They're having interest in this kind of sport. So you don't want to sit there and rope the kid, and the next thing you know, you hurt the kid, and he doesn't want to come back anymore. You want to sit there, go for it. Listen, I think there was a time, it was a kid's birthday party. You know what I mean? And I was habit to ref the field, and the ref was like, just go play with them, man. Like, just have a good time. Go play with them. They want to point and give them pointers and stuff. I said, all right. I had my setup in my car. I was like, listen, little man, take this. You know what I mean? Play with it.
Yeah.
Shoot it. See what you like about it. And then next thing you know, he's like, Mom, I'm gonna get in the sport of paintball. And I'm like, am I doing something right? Or like what? I'm sitting there like promoting the sport. And that's something what it is, man. I mean, I have a 6-year-old son. I let him shoot my market, and he's like, so you're gonna buy me my own? And I'm like, well, you're 6 right now, so you gotta wait till you get a little older, then I got you. But regardless of what it is, like I always take care of you. I always want, it's the kids, man. I have a really soft spot for kids. You know what I mean? And like, if I definitely see somebody abusing them on the field, it's definitely ain't right. And I'm always, I'm a parent myself. Yeah, I'm a parent myself. So you hear somebody else's kid, I want to defend their kid as well. So I just want, it's promote the sport, man. Give the kid the electronic marker. Let him have some fun with that. If he needs a couple pods, give it to him.
Yeah.
And I understand, like us grown men, like we work hard for our paint and everything, but it's
come on, man,
helping
a
the
pod.
kid out. Yeah, a pod, like for real, like just give it to him.
Dude, a loader, dude. That kid shoots the loader out of an electronic gun in the 5 seconds, and then they're like, I need more, and they're like hype, and you're like, all right, I'll give you another pot, and you're like, dude, that does way more for the sport than like those are the things that actually do grow the sport versus like I don't know, hashtag grow the sport or whatever, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
The only time I don't do that is when I bring my cocker because I could barely figure that thing out. So how can I expect a rental to figure out how to work my auto cocker when I can't even tell them?
Dude, I'm not. Yeah, man. Dude, definitely not me, man.
Or can you imagine trying to say, screw in the LPR? No, not the big circle thing, the medium circle. Yeah, you got to screw that in. But no, all the time, like if I'm bringing my 170R, like if I'm running my Shocker CVO and I get shot out, I'll just run past his bunker and leave it there and be like, yo, kid, shoot this for the rest of the game,
Right. And it's an amazing thing. Kids feel amazing about it, man. I mean, and it's always a good time. You want to have the good time with the kid, not sit there and ruin his day. So,
no, because we want these kids to come back. Like, we don't want them to be like, dude, I won paintball, I had a shitty time. I want them to be like, yo, this kid let me use his gun, and now I need to go buy one.
Right. And more importantly, now that he just bought his own equipment, now he's going to constantly go to that field and come. Now you get him. He just came that one time, and the next thing you know, he might come, 2 times a month, and then it starts coming to 3 times a month, and then now he's coming every Saturday and Sunday to the field, and then people get to know him and everything else. So yeah, absolutely, man.
More of that, man. More of that, dude. Less lighting up kids and more helping the kids, man. I mean, I just actually ran a charity 3-man. It had some businesses playing against each other, It had some paintball teams playing against each other, and the money was raised, to benefit kids to go to kids scholarships. But there was a couple kids playing the event. They're having a blast, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
These kids were balling it up. You know what I mean? So,
It was
I'm
sick
also
to
doing
watch
a
the
kids
business
camp.
teams play because like they weren't going out with like any pods, so like the paintball division like would play the back 3 bunkers and just fucking blast, But
Right,
these
right.
guys were going out with the rental cuts, no pods, so the dude is taking like the left 50 off break because then no one's got any paint.
Right, right.
Dude, it was awesome, dude. Those
It was
games were
sick. It
sick,
was
though.
sick.
The business games were sick. Like
Yeah.
the paintball games, snooze fest.
Right. Yeah,
Snooze
bro.
fest.
And that's the most important. At the end of the day, man, as long as everyone's having fun, that's all that matters, man. That is all really that matters. Regardless if you're having a
Right.
bad day, good day. If you have a good time there, when you go home, you have a bad day, you go paintball, you're having all a bad day, and you sit there and you say you got a good time at paintball, that talk's going to be from the time you were there to the time you get to your car to the whole drive home till you get there and
Hell
then
yeah.
whatever it is that you settle at home. You know what I mean? So that's definitely what it is.
It's therapy, dude.
That definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So, Wallo, you got any other questions for him?
Yeah, man, because I'm gonna see him Sunday, and then maybe we'll have to do a post-event recap video. Hopefully with some nice podium picks, or maybe I know we're giving away an MVP. I need to step your game up, and we got a volcano bag. We got
I already got one of them.
you got the volcano bag.
Yeah,
All right,
Damn,
listen,
bro. You know what? I don't
listen.
have to order me one of these
Let
because
me
you know what?
tell you.
Everyone's got one and I don't.
Let me tell you, the volcano. I had a PE roller bag, and I got rid of that to get this volcano bag. And I was like, you know what? Like, good handful of my teammates got it. Let me try it out. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it, bro. I love the volcano bag. I mean, I got the all black and red. They're actually one of our sponsors as well. Volcano. I mean, if you don't have it, you're missing out. It's the best bag in the game. I mean it. I mean, you can sit there, fit so many markers. I mean, there's a guy I know that has he has 3 marker cases in his bag. Then he has a marker in the side. He's got the pods. He's got that's the America USA.
Yeah, giving that away at TSXL. I'm pretty sure.
bro.
So,
Whoever it is, bro, they definitely just that. If they say they don't like that bag, then there's something wrong with them. There is something wrong with
That's
that.
my bag, dude. I mean, I don't know yet. I might.
That bag is amazing. You put your marker on the side. People are putting, barrel, barrel swabs. They're putting pod swabs on the side of the bag. There's pockets on the side of the bag. I mean, it's amazing, man. The volcano bag. Look, I got to tip my hats off to them.
Mm-hmm.
Full respect. That is the best bag made in the game right now, personally.
I said I'm ordering.
Dude, so roll up the rest of the sponsors for BAMF. Now that we're in it.
Yep.
All right.
That's
so
what we like to do at the end. Yeah, plug all your sponsors. Tell everyone you do what you do.
Absolutely. Hey, big shout out. I want to give big shout outs to Dizana for our pants, our BAMF pants.
Hell
absolutely amazing. Big props to them. Weapons for our jersey, MK Ultra as well. We wear our middle finger jerseys. That's what it is. NFG, if you guys haven't figured it out, you guys got to figure it out for some more. So Midwest Clothing, ProShar, and our paintball, HydroFit, Transfuse. Listen, if you ain't tried to Transfuse yet, you got to try it. Transfuse is absolutely amazing. The hydration and everything. If you I don't know if you guys work out or anything. Bucked Up
every morning, bro. Every morning.
All right, so you got to try the Bucked Up, man. This Bucked Up is like powdered Adderall. I mean, it's amazing. It's fantastic, man. It's legal too. But I mean, listen, it's amazing and it tastes amazing. I mean, honestly, the reason why I played so well personally is due to focus and the Bucked Up. When I drank that pre-workout, before I ended up going out at the second match when we played against PC United, I mean, I was so focused into the game and everything else. Bucked Up, I mean, they helped out a lot. Volcano, for their amazing bag. Props to them. Virtual Bunker Kings, our loaders, our mask. Powerhouse for our Powerhouse regs. At least that's what I got on my marker. Ninja. Big shout out to the paintball ladies. We're not sponsored by them, but we always show them some BAMF love and some full respect to them. Keep grinding out there and all that kind of stuff, man. It all goes up from here, man. BAMF is a very, very well, organization. We like to take care of each other. Most importantly, we're not just friends, man. We're family, and you know, we all sit there. We all help each other out. I mean, there was a time where, you know, my car was broken down. I had somebody driving. You know, we're supposed to be in Maryland. I got somebody driving from King of Prussia, so he's taking the extra hour to come pick me up and drop me off. Big props to him, man. I mean, and it's all about that in the game, is when you take care of each other, and that's something I'm really proud to be a part of as well.
Yeah, Chris, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, man. So yeah, this is our episode with Chris from BAMF. I want to encourage everyone again to go to Dizana Sports and use code Overshot for 10% off the joggers. I just want to say we've noticed that recently there's been a huge uptake in people using the code. Like I said, we know when this stuff happens, and we see you guys using it, and it's fucking awesome, man. Like
Agreed.
the fact that so many of you people are listening is just fucking dope. So continue to do that. Continue to subscribe, rate, and review to our YouTube channel and all the podcasts and anywhere you can find us. It helps us out a ton. The numbers will grow a little bit every day until we take over the freaking world one day, man. And that's going to be with your help, the listeners, man. So again, we want to thank
Agreed.
Chris
Joe
for
Rogan,
coming
I'm coming
on.
for you, bro.
Yeah, we're coming for you, man. We're coming for your numbers. And yeah, thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you on the next episode.